I am going to say something, and it's going to sound patronizing, and it's going to sound like I'm patting myself on the back. But I want you guys to know that sometimes I'm not happy when I'm right. Sometimes having the correct take does physically bother me. And I hate that I'm right about Rafael Montero. Setup man for the Houston Astros. 3 years, $34.5 million contract given to him by Jim Crane, by Jeff Bagwell after James Click was out, before Dana Brown came in. And there's a lot of season left. And theoretically, he could pitch better by the end of the year. But this is the exact guy that I saw in Seattle. A less punchy version of Ken Giles. Literally. And he's one of a couple of problems that you have for this Astros team. The problem on top of that problem, the little cherry on top, is that he's an expensive one. What's going on, people? And welcome aboard the Paul Gallant Show on this Tuesday, May 9th of 2023, after the Astros lost to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim last night, 6-4, dropping the record to 17-18 on the year. Very frustrating. And again, I don't want to dance on the grave of people like Jeremy Branham who actually trust Rafael Montero. We're all on the same boat here when it comes to the Rafael Montero show. We know what we're getting. It's bad network television. I could miss 2 seasons, come back. It's the same show. There's a lot of shows like that these days. And I understand why they're geared that way, because not everybody's going to want to watch every single episode of every single show. But the Rafael Montero show had a nice surprise breakout season with new producers and new actors last year. And then the writer's strike happened. And I guess the writer's strike was happening before. And here we are with Rafael Montero, who at the very least gives you all of the anxiety in the world. You want to get in touch with the show, 713-780-3776 to call in, to text in as well on the HR&P listener line. You can also join us in our Twitch, twitch.tv/ESPN975. At Gallant Says, at ESPN975, at Sean A. Mapes behind the glass. Sean, what was going through your mind when Rafael Montero, you saw him sitting down in the bullpen, and the Astros broadcast said he's going to pitch in the next inning with a tie game?
Well, like you said, with the writer's strike, it was like the last time there was a writer's strike, and it felt like it was Friday Night Lights, and Landry just killed that guy.
You know, I don't hate that plot point.
Oh, my God.
That much.
That was terrible. That was the worst.
I mean,
his dad is a cop.
Right. Perfect person to cover it up. He did it for the woman he loved. It was just one bad plot point. The rest of the season worked.
No, some of the daughter stuff wasn't great either.
Oh, with
I forgot what
Amy Teagarden is the actress. Yeah, and Saracen. Yeah. Okay, maybe you're right.
They made all the likable characters unlikable.
Rafael Montero is
not
likable. Who would Rafael Montero be on Friday Night Lights? I'm trying to think of a character because they all are likable.
They all have like a kernel of likability.
Just a little bit.
He's the guy in the diner that Landry killed.
No, you know who he is? He's that offensive coordinator that's trying to take Coach Taylor's job, who's a racist. And I'm not saying Montero's a racist. And by the way, there's a redeeming character arc for that guy later, and I'm hoping Montero gets it. But God, that contract just sucks. And I actually feel bad for Montero right now. I do. I don't want to sound like I'm dancing on his grave. It's not his fault he got paid this money. The Astros are the ones who offered it to him. This is egg on their face, not on Montero's. But how do you trust this guy going forward? I mean, we saw this stuff in the playoffs last year. And yeah, he had nice numbers, and he does have electric stuff when he's on his A game. But, I mean, geez, what did you think was going to happen when he came out? Especially after Saturday. And yeah, it's a bad stretch. Dusty Baker was asked about Montero after last night's game. Here is the skipper of the Houston Astros.
Well, it does. It's going to happen to everybody, but, I mean, you hate to see it happen to him in a short period of time. I mean, being concerned is not going to fix the whatever's wrong. So we just got to go back to drawing board and try to fix it in a short period of time.
How do you do that? How do you fix it? Other than taking him out of high leverage situations. But the problem is, with your starting rotation as battered as it is right now, you do need a lot of work out of your bullpen. So that sucks. And then, okay, well, who else are you going to give the opportunities to? That also is a little bit concerning. Brian Abreu is probably your second most trustworthy Astros reliever after Ryan Presley. You could argue that Abreu's pitched better, but didn't have the best weekend in Seattle. Did Abreu either? I think on Friday was the game where he had some issues when he was in relief. There's a lot of pressure right now on this pitching staff, and Montero is a weakness right now. Todd the Show comments, Montero will end up okay. Might be a 7-inning guy, though. You're not paying him for that. You're not. You're not paying him for that. Maybe you try that. I feel like if I'm Dusty Baker, I'm thinking about an injured list stint. I'm thinking about something just to get him away for a little bit. And again, it's 2 games. It's not the end of the world. But in totality this year, he's given up a hit, Montero, in 13 of his 16 appearances. You're paying for way better production out of one of your top relievers than that. So here we are with the Astros now back under 500, losing a game to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And you got Shohei Ohtani on the mound tonight. And it's unfortunate because Montero spoiled a nice 2-run rally in the 3rd inning. Bregman had 2 hits, his first triple since the pandemic, which scored Dubon, who basically started a 2-out rally with a single. Yordan Alvarez doubled. Jose Abreu doubled. It was a bit of it was a trickler, but hey, it was still a double. Still a double. You got 2 1/3 of quality relief from Seth Martinez and Hector Neris. You got David Hensley, Mr. Swag himself, hitting his first home run of the year. That was nice to see. He had Yanir Diaz gunning down another person at second base. Like, there were some good things last night. But, I mean, I guess the only really good thing you can talk about with the Houston Astros today is that Jose Altuve is going back to Houston, and it sounds like that means he's going to be close to some sort of rehab assignment. But I'm frustrated, and I don't want to pin everything on Rafael Montero here, because Montero did pitch well last year. He is a World Series champion. I am focusing 100% on Jim Crane and Jeff Bagwell, who are sort of immune from this because now there is a general manager who has a title here. It's Dana Brown. And Dana Brown's the one that's regularly being made available. I know over on the Astros flagship, I think he talks with them once a week. And he gets asked questions like this. Hey, are you going to trade for some pitchers? You can't really trade at this point in the year. Hey, are there other reliever options out there? Oh, it's tough to say at this point in time. They did trade for somebody whose name is eluding me at this moment in time, but I don't think it's somebody who's going to provide a big help. So here you are, and the guys who made this deal happen, in addition to the Jose Abreu deal, are in their office, and I know it's, a month and a half into the year, if even that. But I want to ask them questions. I wish they had just talked to me. Hey, did anyone see Rafael Montero pitch in Seattle? Because it feels like they're just going off of what they saw from his extended work last year. And I would have told them, don't. I'm not a baseball expert. Everyone knows this. I think Jeremy called me a baseball casual as he was defending Rafael Montero, which is very delicious to me. I have the high ground here, okay? Like, you might have all your baseball knowledge, Anakin Skywalker. You might have all that power of the Force. I have the high ground. I've seen Montero pitch before. It's one of those interesting things. The one advantage I have as someone who has worked in 2 baseball markets is that I've seen players who play for other teams. so I could determine if that person has sucked before. And Montero was always like this. It was never a good feeling when he went out there.
I can't believe you just chopped off Jeremy Branham's legs like that. But you had the high ground. He never should have tried for it. But
Jeremy might hate me, but he should instead hate defending Rafael Montero, which is an unwinnable war. It's like attacking France and Russia at the same time, and England, and then the United States of America. Because it's going to work out. It's going to be fine.
whenever you talk about Rafael Montero, you do this like hushed tone, like a very
Because
hushed,
what am I
serious
supposed to
tone.
do? What am I supposed to do, Sean?
No, it's just funny. It just is not how you talk about anything else.
Because I'm
It's
resigned
like-
to this. I know what this is. Okay, see, this is why
No,
Sean's great.
no,
You're
no.
unleashing the dragon.
Because it sounds like there's like been this massive. It's like on the news when they like, and now a more serious story, and like that's what this is every time
What?
Montero pitches.
But I don't want to speak excitedly about this. I don't want to be patting myself on the back for being right about one of the rare things in baseball I'm right about. But if I stick my neck out for something like this, saying Montero's the same guy in Seattle, please believe me. There are very few things in baseball I'm going to stand on a ledge for. That's all I'm telling you is believe me. Right now, I think I'm just speaking one-on-one to Jeremy. I'm just grabbing him by the shirt. Jeremy, Christ, brother, you need to let this go. It's not getting better. It's not. It's not happening. I know you want it to. I want it to. We all want it to. Last year was a fluke. It was. And he got paid for it. Good for Rafael Montero. Bad for either Jim Crane or Jeff Bagwell. Probably Jeff Bagwell more so. Because we're talking about what? We're talking about people. We're talking about baseball. We're talking about ball. We're not talking about numbers and analytics. And now Rafael Montero is on my Mount Rushmore of people that I do not want to see enter a game in Houston sports. He already kind of was there. Basically, I have a friend right now where I just text him Montero. We just text each other whenever Montero comes out of the bullpen. That's it. And guess what? In 16 appearances, he's allowed 13 games of those pitches. 13 of those appearances, he has allowed a hit, including last night. So he joins on the Mount Rushmore of people I never want to see in a game for Houston athletes. Deshaun Nix, the tank machine for your Houston Rockets, who is a point guard, I guess. And at this point, Davis Mills. Davis Mills. Never want to see him on the field again. No offense to Davis Mills. Not even for the Mills cat or the Perry cat or whatever the hell they're going to try again, because I guess Jeff Driscoll's not there anymore.
Really, Deshaun Nix?
Yes, Deshaun Nix, Sean.
He was instrumental in getting the second overall lottery off.
He was instrumental in helping the Rockets get a 14% chance at the number one overall pick, which they would have had if they were the worst, second worst, or third worst team in the NBA. But hey, Deshaun Nix.
Yeah.
That Deshaun Nix played for this team last year is I think, a major indictment.
It was a lottery talent. They got with like the second or the last pick in the first round, second to last pick in the first round.
And again, not Nix's fault. This is Rafael Stone's fault. Like, hey, I want to make Paul Gallant kill himself while he watches Rockets basketball, as if he hasn't done that enough in his 10 years here in Houston. I want him to hate himself, but this time we'll be doing it with a team that's actively trying to lose, as opposed to a team that just has no honor and flops and travels and doesn't play defense. Anyway, you're good at getting me riled up. You're good at getting me riled up.
It was just hard to listen to. Like, ladies and gentlemen, there's been another event. This
But
time
there
in the Southern California.
The Astros are under attack by Rafael Montero and his appearances. The Rafael Montero show, it's eventful
There's
on
been
the outside.
in 2 of the last 4 Astros games, there's been a domestic terrorist event. And it's Rafael Montero coming in the 8th inning.
I mean, it's
Hug
like
your loved ones tonight. If you see this man, do not serve him.
Sean is making fun of me because I sounded like Walter Cronkite in the first segment.
It sounded like
they're all gone.
There's been a cigarette burning in your hand for 2 hours.
So the injuries are the biggest problem for the Astros, the top of the lineup, and the offense as a whole. That's the second biggest problem. Dubon seems to be cooling off. I know he had the single with the 2 outs in the third inning to start that 2-out rally. Bregman's hitting just 205. He did get some good contact on the ball last night, so there's that. But I wonder, Dusty's so stubborn with the lineups, if you think about changing the lineup around to maybe have Bregman bat a little bit later, say he has another dud of a night tonight against Shohei Ohtani. And look, the rotation isn't pitching deep into games, and that's why you're getting a lot of Rafael Montero. It's not great that Montero's already pitched like 16 games this year, right? And I mean, maybe that would be the number at this point, but it seems like he's on pace for a lot if we're going to do on pace guy, right? Like they've played, 35 games? 16 of 35. That's a little over 40%. What's he going to have, like 80 appearances this year? Close to 80 appearances this year? Framber's had 6 quality starts, but, I mean, the two guys that you trust the most now in your rotation, and again, part of this is due to injuries, are averaging less than 6 innings pitched a night. Javier and Hunter Brown. And then after that, like Brandon Bilak, good luck. JP France, good luck. Like, I'm not expecting France to have another outing like he had on Saturday. That was against the team with the worst average in baseball. The Mariners can't hit either. Like, they really can't hit. Still scored enough to beat you 2 of 3.